Welcome back, guys. My name is Ziko Perez. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. And to this tutorial, I'll be teaching you on how to make a trouser. You can call it a trouser, you can call it a pants. Depends on what you feel to call it. So in this tutorial, I'll be needing my tape, I'll be needing my cord, I'll be needing my chalk, I'll be needing scissors, and of course the measurement of the trouser I'm about to cut. So in this tutorial now, the things you need to measure are the waist, the hip, the thigh, the crotch, and the trouser length. So on this tutorial now, the first thing first is to get the full length of the trouser. And the full length of the trouser for my client is 40 inches. So I'll mark my full length, which is 40 inches. Then I'll add my 2 inches extra allowance for folding, because we're going to be folding it, making it a total of 42 inches. So I marked 42 inches. I've marked 42 inches. Then I'll use my straight ruler to make it very visible and obvious so that I know the line that I'm working on. So this is my 42 inches. So first thing to do is my thigh. My thigh measurement for this client is 26 inches. I'm going to divide my thigh measurement into two, like making it a total of 13 inches. So the 13 inches is what I'm going to be using as my trouser block, because that is the largest measurement in this outfit now. So I'll make sure I have 13 inches, and this is 13 inches. So I'm using this. So another next thing I'm going to do is to get my plumb line. Plumb line is to divide the thigh measurement into two. Whatever you have is your plumb line. So 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. It's going to give me a center for me to be able to mark my center of this fabric, so that I can be able to take accurate measurements and divide them into two properly, so that it's used for apportioning measurements properly, so that everything is going to be even at the end of the day. So I'll use my straight ruler and connect the lines. Connect it. It's going to be like just a straight line. You just to divide the trouser block into two. After which, I'm going to first start with my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 39. 39 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.75. Okay, so 9.75 divided by 2 is going to give me 9.78. So that's what I'm going to divide, and all the measurements I get, I'm going to divide them into two. That is one on this side, one on this side, because I've already gotten a plumb line in the center. It is going to help me to make my trouser to be equal, and it's going to be straight. So I give them like this on the both sides. So my crotch, for this my client, how to get your crotch: you can measure the person from the waist to the crotch, or you can divide the person's hip into 4 to get an accurate crotch. So her hip here is 42 inches. So I'm using her hip to get her crotch. 42 inches divided by 4 is 10.25. So I'm using 10.25. I mean 10.50. I'm using 10.5 for her crotch. That's 10.5, 10.5, 10.50, depends on the one you call it. So this is her crotch line. I don't know, are you seeing it? Or should I use this kind of choke? Okay, it's going to be 10.25. So this 10.25 now is my crotch line. So on the crotch line is where I'm going to be putting my thigh measurement. Thigh measurement is 6.5 on both sides, which is 13 inches at the end of the day. I've marked 6.5 on this side. I've marked 6.5 on this side, making it a total of 13 inches. So on this side, you can use any of the sides now as your crotch side. So I want to use this side. as my crotch side. So on this waist measurement, I'm going to be coming down. I'll come down to meet this crotch side. You see, I don't know if you've seen it. It's just a straight line to meet this crotch line. So I'm going to use this my curve now. This one. If you are doing freehand, you can use freehand just to make it curve. It shouldn't just look straight like four corner. No, you should make it look curved, like curved. So this is what I have. So for me to put my hip measurement on this side, I'm coming down by 5 inches from the waist. So that's why I'm putting my hip measurement. My hip measurement is going to be 5.25. That is, I divided 10.5. I told you earlier that we're dividing everything on both sides. So 10.5, 10.5 is going to give us, no, 5.25 plus 5.25 is going to give us 10.5 inches to make up for 1 all over 4 of our hip measurement. Our hip measurement is 42 inches. So I've marked 10.25. This is my waist, this is my crotch. So I'll connect like so. I'll use my hip cuff, connect it from here to here. Okay, so I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. So for a basic trouser, the front is usually slanted down on the crotch side. So for the front, I'm slanted down by 1.5 on this side. So this 1.5, now you slant it to meet this waist. You slant it like this to meet here. It's not difficult. I slanted it already to meet here. So it's now left for you to decide. Now left for you to decide whether you want to make this a palazzo trouser, a boat cut trouser, a flayed, a bodycon, a fitted trouser. But this one now is just a straight trouser, just a small palazzo. The palazzo shouldn't be too much. So I'm measuring from my waist to my knee. Her waist to knee is 23 inches. So on this my new measurement, I'm using 5.5. Okay, let me make it 5.5. 5.5 on both sides. 5.5 on both sides, making it 11. So I'll use this ruler to connect this thigh measurements, to connect the crotch to this 11. I'll still connect to this 11. It's not difficult. I'll still use the 11 down. It's just going to be the same thing. So nothing much is happening down here. So that's it. I'll start cutting out. It's not difficult. It's not a hard task. I've always told my apprentices that cutting trouser is one of the easiest things in tailoring since my year of learning this work. So that's it for the front. This is what my front pattern already looks like. The front pattern is already looking like the basic trouser. I hope you can see. So I'll go on ahead now to cut the back pattern. And the major difference between the back and the back of a trouser and the front of a trouser is that the back is bigger than the front. Don't forget, the front is smaller while the back. I'll place the front pattern on the back. Don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. So now, first thing to notice is that the front, I slanted the front down. I slanted it down. But for the back, I'm going to be slanting it up. It's going to be coming up because of the bum bum. There is bum bum at the back. So I'm coming up from this crotch side, coming up by 2.5 inch. 2.5 inch. Then I give it a slant down to the waist side. It's going to be slanting down to the waist. As you can see, I'm slanting down to the waist. So I'm going to be adding 2.5 inches down from up to down of this trouser. Then on the crotch side, I'll be adding 3 inches because I don't need that place to be tight for my client. I need it to be as free as possible. So every other place is just 2.5, 2.5. It's not much. 2.5, 2.5. Okay. 2.5. So I'm connecting all the whole dots of the 2.5 I've measured already. 2.5. 2.5. So I'll cut it out like so. So on this hip side is going to be exactly the front. No adding, no subtraction, just cut the same thing on that. This is the back pattern. As you can see, the back pattern is looking up. This piece is bigger, it's longer than this one. This is the front pattern. It's coming down, unlike the back. Then another thing to note, very important, don't forget, the back is bigger than the front. For you to make your trouser to come out well, the back should be bigger than the front. Then the back is slanting up on the crotch side by 2.5 inch because of your bum bum, while the front is slanting down to give a nice fitting. Thank you for watching. So this is what the trouser looks like. Okay, it's actually a two-piece.